Hi, welcome to BetSafe's Premier League Preview Week 11 with myself, Alan McInally from Sky Sports, and of course, as ever, Paul Dickov, ex-Arsenal and Manchester City striker. We're going to try and make sure that sportsbook wallet looks a little bit better and bring you the best prices you can get with BetSafe and give you industry-boosted prices on our trebles and accumulators. We're going to try and put you in the right place of the games at the weekend. Incidentally, we hit the crossbar last week. Watford let us both down after brilliant against Chelsea, get beat by Stoke. But to be fair to the wee man, the week before he only bagged another 12-1. You've had about 5 or 6 already. We've only had 11, but 10
absolutely
weeks.
flying, mate.
We are going pretty well. So hopefully you've been watching us on betsafe.com, you've been taking our advice, and you've been having a little tipple on our trebles. I've gone for Southampton, Man City and Chelsea at 6-1, and Paul's gone for Leicester, Burnley and Man City at 31-1. I may as well go with yours because I know I'm not going to get mine right. Let's start with the first one then. City against Arsenal. City just absolutely flying, really, aren't they?
Yeah, we all both went for City, haven't we?
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they're playing, I'll even go back to the Napoli game this week. They're just sensational, and it seems whatever any team try and do against them, City come up with an answer to how to do it.
Absolutely.
If teams want to press them, they'll play through them. If teams sit off them, they've got the ability to create chances left, right and centre, and I can't see them getting beat at the minute off Envy.
Check out us on betsafe.com. Incidentally, Paul and I are going to give you an extended Premier League preview on the Man City Arsenal game at the weekend. We're just going to skip through hopefully all these other games at the weekend and give you a little bit more in depth on what we might think might happen and why we think City will win against Arsenal. 1-2 City, quite a big price for City, odds on 4-1 the draw. Arsenal, if you're a gunner, you can have them on BetSafe at a great price at 20.75. We will get into it, but Arsenal's not struggling, but certainly not kind of really the same as Arsenal, as Man City at the moment.
No, they're not, but look, Arsenal get talented players, and any given day I think they're a match for anybody, but they're just too inconsistent and can't defend. They were lucky, they went 1-0 down against Swansea last week, and got themselves back into it, so they're stuttering along, but you look at both squads, you look at the strength and depth, you look at the quality, and it's Man City all day long for me.
Absolutely. Your second one is Leicester to beat Stoke. I'll go to the bottom of the pile for this one. Leicester to beat Stoke. Why? Considering Stoke had a magnificent result against Watford last week.
Yeah, they did, but they could have been 3-0, 4-0 down. They were very lucky, and it was a big result for Matthews actually. They've took a few thumpings recently.
Yeah. You know Mark pretty well. You've been delighted with the result.
He would have been buzzing because I think he was under a little bit of pressure, even with that win. I just feel Leicester under the new manager, great result against Everton, look like
very good.
Back to what we know they can do. Vardy, Mahrez were fantastic for them again, and I just think them going to Stoke with Stoke struggling for form, a little bit of lack of confidence, and Leicester with their tails up, I think they'll go there and beat them.
13-8 Stoke, they're a good price, odds against, 12-5 the draw. Leicester 2-1 on BetSafe. If you're a Leicester fan, it's a big price. You get some great prices on BetSafe. The best prices are always with BetSafe, I always tell you. Stoke 13-8, they are just side of favourites, probably just because the game's at home, would that be right?
Yeah, look, Stoke, I've went against the grain a little bit for myself. I usually back Stoke at home all day long,
you do know,
but I just feel that...
Well, they had a good result, Leicester. They beat Everton.
Yeah, new manager going in there. He's a bit longer to work with them as well. And I just think Stoke are really struggling at the minute. Struggling to score goals. And Leicester, the way they play, with Vardy, Okazaki, Iheanacho, they've got a lot of flair going forward. Yeah. And Damari Gray was brilliant the other night there as well.
I quite like him. It's a little inconsistent. I think he's got it in there. But it's just like him being a little bit more consistent and picking the right pass at the right time.
It is, and I think he needs to run the team.
Yeah, probably.
Under Craig, Shakespeare, he was in, he was out, he played the cup game, do well, then go back onto the bench.
Yeah.
I think Puyol going in there, his new managers showed a lot of faith in him by starting him in the first game.
We are split here. Southampton versus Burnley. I'll give you the odds. Burnley 5-4 at home. Burnley's form at home has been good. Incidentally, this year away from home, you just reminded me about something before we came on air. They've been excellent. 23-10 the draw and 13-5 Swansea. That's not right, because it's Burnley. Is it not Burnley? Yeah, sorry, Southampton Burnley. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. So I've given you the wrong ones here for the wrong thing. You think you think Burnley. I think Southampton.
Yeah, I just think Burnley, they're on a roll at the minute. Last season they couldn't win away from home and couldn't lose at home. Now their away form's been brilliant, and the way they're playing, I think it would just suit them going down to Southampton. And Southampton, very inconsistent.
The only reason I've got the only reason I've gone to Southampton is because they're at home.
Yeah.
Because I think they go to Burnley, I think Burnley would probably do exactly what they did to Newcastle. Wasn't a great game. Get a couple of chances, win the game 1-0. I think they'll struggle a little bit more down there.
Just defensively, they're so sound, you know. And I think Chris Wood, you know, I said it earlier on this season. I think he's been a brilliant signing for them. I was really surprised that one of the Premier boys didn't come in from beforehand.
One of your old boys, Tarkowski, you had him like
Big
years
Tarky,
ago before he even went to Brentford.
Yeah, Big Tarky gave me his debut when he was 17, and I'm absolutely buzzing for him because he's honestly, he's a great kid. Ultimate, he's even a 17-year-old. Anything that he could do to be the best he could be, he was there. And there was probably more talented players than him in the youth team that didn't apply themselves the way he did, and that's why he's in the Prem and they're not.
And the goalkeeper, Tom Heaton's been injured, and yet the boy Pope's come in and he had a couple of fantastic saves.
He's been brilliant. You know, when you have a young kid, when your number one gets injured and you chuck him in, you don't know what you're getting.
No.
I think they've just gave him a new 4-year contract and he deserves it. But that's the main reason I went for him. I think defensively Burnley are so sound, and they will get 1 or 2 chances, and I expect them to take it.
Well, I'm going to go back to last year. Southampton won this game down at Southampton 3-1 with the corresponding fixture last year. The fact that I've gone for Southampton is a simple reason they're at home, but the wee man's gone for Burnley. You probably better listen to him. His track record's been better, and remember his treble's 31-1. Mine is only 6s. Burnley 5-4 favourites, just 13-5 Southampton, and 23-10 the draw. Are we done? Southampton to beat Burnley, City to beat Arsenal, and Chelsea to beat Manchester United is the ones I've gone for. So we have to mention Chelsea now, which is mine. Chelsea beat Man United. Now, you're going to have a real go at me. Chelsea have not been good. Get properly turned over by Roma. Having been in great form in the league, I think this is a game that Conte must win. And I have not been particularly impressed with Manchester United. The results are hard to go. Listen, results go by everything. But I just think you might get revenge here, Conte.
Do you know, I'm going to agree with you on this. I just think that, you know, Chelsea, and I know it's early doors, they're 9 points behind Man City already. I know. You know, there's no way, look, we both went for City to beat Arsenal. Can they go 12 points, 13, 14? It's just too much. And I think that kick up the backside in Rome. You know, Conte's came out and he's not usually critical. Yeah, he's a passionate manager, but he doesn't usually come out and criticise his team, and he had a right pop at them. And I think the best game for Chelsea is Man United going there now after what happened during the week.
Me too, because you know they simply cannot play the way they've played. I mean, Roma are a decent team. I think people forget that. That's what makes Man City's result in the middle of the week in the Champions League against Napoli even more impressive. 3-2 Chelsea, odds against. It's a magic price on BetSafe. 11-5 the draw, 21-10 Manchester United. It's a decent price for United if you can think they can keep going and frustrate Chelsea. Remember, go to betsafe.com for boosted markets in all of these clashes. I've gone under 1.5 goals at 2-1. Do you think there'll be goals in the game?
No.
I think it'll be tight.
It'll be the odd goal, I think.
That might be the one. If you think United will sneak it 1-0 again, 19-3.
United have been brilliant, as in the results. But I think there's only so long you can keep doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought they were very lucky against Tottenham. And other games that they've played in, you know, I'm going to say they're pretty boring to watch.
Yeah. Well, I just generally, I mean, I know he's stuck up for Lukaku, and I can understand that, but I promise you, even against Spurs, I thought his touch was poor.
Yeah.
Having said that, and you know what it's like in tight games like that, when the chess match, you know, you blink and you lose a goal. He does win the header, but Tongan doesn't get close enough. Dyer misses a run from Martial, they win the game 1-0. So you're like, well, hang on a minute, we've done them.
Yeah, but I do think there's, against Chelsea, the top team, Tottenham, they get away with it. I think you can only get away with that for so long before you get found out.
And the reason I've gone for Chelsea is I don't think United will get away with it at the weekend. Okay, I'll remind you now, I've gone for Southampton to beat Burnley, City to beat Arsenal, Chelsea to beat Manchester United, the McInally price boosted incidentally on BetSafe to 6-1. Paul Dickov, Leicester to beat Stoke, Burnley to beat Southampton, and his beloved Manchester City to beat Arsenal at a boosted price on BetSafe of 31-1. Remember, the official betting partner BetSafe is of Manchester City, and we're giving you our best bets for the weekend here on our Premier League preview. Just briefly, I'm going to go through some of the other games. Huddersfield West Brom, Huddersfield 9-5, West Brom 2-1, 2-1 the draw. Not a lot between these two, is there?
No, there's not. You know, West Brom were pretty impressive against Man City last week. Huddersfield, you know, get beat 3 at Liverpool, possibly could have been more. I'll go for a draw.
I think so. I think that's one of the reasons why it's not in our treble.
I think both managers will be happy with drawing that one as well, by the way.
I think so as well. Newcastle, Bournemouth. Newcastle even money, probably because the game's at St James's Park. Bournemouth 3s, big price Bournemouth, 5-2 the draw.
I'll go Newcastle just because they're at home.
I nearly put them in, but I kind of put my head in the block with the Chelsea-Manchester United game. Swansea 64, Brighton 12-5, 2-1 the draw. This is a game that Swansea cannot lose.
And that's why I'll go with Swansea on this one.
Oh, excellent. I'd be tempted to put Brighton in. It's a tough game, not one I'd be putting a lot of money on. 9-2 West Ham, 100-30 the draw. Liverpool 46. Do Liverpool turn up and turn them over?
Yeah, I do. I think it's been a big week for Liverpool. You know, not playing particularly well.
4-0, 3-0 against Maribor?
Yep, 3-0, 3-0. Both games have played, so because of that, I'll go with Liverpool.
Spurs 2-9, the most sensational result against Real Madrid in the middle of the week. I had a nice little bit on BetSafe, thank you very much. 6-1 the draw. Crystal Palace as high as 11s. Too strong.
You may as well give Crystal Palace 40 there. Never mind 11s and Spurs all day long.
Yeah. And the last one, now this is, I nearly put them in because I want Unsworth to get a result. Everton 11-10, they're odds against, but they're favourites to win the game. They play Watford, who are 11-4, who I watched against Chelsea were fantastic. Kilmayaka last week because Stoke beat them 5-2 the draw. There's all the pressure's on Everton, isn't it?
It is, and I'm like you. And I want Unzi to do well. You know, he's a great bloke. Done an unbelievable job with their under-23s, by the way. If you look at the players that he's brought through, it's going to be a tough game for them, though. It is, because I like Watford this season. You know, they should have beat Chelsea, and how they didn't beat Stoke last week. They played very, very well. But because I want Unzi to do well, I'm going to go with Everton.
11-4 Watford, by the way. Remember that price. Listen, well done. Thanks to Paul, as usual. I'll just remind you of his treble. Leicester, Burnley and Manchester City. 31-1 on BetSafe. Mine's Southampton, City and Chelsea to beat United at 6-1. You'll have your own ideas on your own trebles and accumulators on BetSafe. Hope your sportsbook wallet looks pretty good. And catch Paul and I giving you a more in-depth preview on Manchester City Arsenal. It's a huge game at the weekend. Good luck with all your bets. Remember, keep it with BetSafe. You get the best prices.